Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling and back for another live scope rant here. I promised you guys I'd keep doing it. Every time I keep getting slapped in the face with another live scope tournament, I'm going to keep addressing this type of stuff because there's a couple different points I want to make on this regarding last week's Bassmaster event at Lake Champlain that we're going to get into. So, guys, real quick before we get started, I just wanted to remind you about the new channel I just started yesterday called Advanced Bass Fishing. This is a high level, pro level, tour level, master's level class in bass fishing. I'm only putting one video a week out. They're like close to an hour long each video, sort of like a seminar format, and we're going to dive super deep into technique. And it's just going to be, information you've never heard or seen before on YouTube. So I'll put the link in the description if you guys are interested in checking out. I just posted the first video today. And if you guys could subscribe to that new channel, it'd be much appreciated, helping get it off the ground there. So thanks a lot. Okay, guys, I'm disgusted once again. Guys, here's what you need to do. Go to Bassmaster.com today and look at the top 10 patterns for the Champlain Elite Series tournament last week. Every freaking one of them, they've got little weenie worms and tiny little shad type swim baits with no tails on them, talking about how they call all their fish forward-facing sonar. Every one of them, forward-facing sonar, forward-facing sonar, forward-facing sonar. Nothing else in there. Guys, this forward-facing sonar has effectively ruined smallmouth tournaments and smallmouth bass fishing in general. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We're gonna get into that here. Now, here's the point I wanna make. Okay, everybody knows that watches this channel that forward-facing sonar is no different than spotlighting deer. It's no different. I don't care what you can try to argue the point away, but when you have a piece of electronics that you can shoot out in front of your boat and it shows fish in real time, in real live time, reacting to different scenarios and situations, and you can follow those fish around in real time, there's no difference than going out into an open field at midnight and spotlighting a deer. Except one is legal and one is not legal. They both need to be illegal, but right now, until we get it changed, which is getting closer and closer, it is still legal to spotlight for bass. You tell me right now, what is the difference between allowing live bait for tournaments? There's no difference at all, because if you're gonna take the aspect and the element of going out and hunting and locating and finding fish patterns that change with different conditions, and using every single aspect that traditional real bass fishing has been centered around, and you're just gonna go out and you're gonna scope around, live scope around with electronics in open water until you see fish, why can't we use live bait? Why doesn't Bassmaster allow you throwing a live crawdad or a live minnow out there? Because they're gonna say, oh, Randy, that's not sporting. We're not gonna use live bait. What is sporting about being able to point an electronic unit in front of the boat and see a fish swimming around in front of you and throwing over there and catching it? What's sporting about that? You don't have to locate or find that bass. It's like traditionally bass fishing is a target-oriented sport, even if it's offshore fishing. It's like you graph around, you'd see a drop-off or a rock pile down there. You didn't know if there was fish down there, or you came up to a lay-down log or a boat dock. You didn't know there was fish under there. You had to fish it, and you had to find out that way. That is what keeps bass fishing sporting. That is what keeps the mystery and the magic in sport. That's what preserves tradition. But when you start getting these tournaments like we had at the Bassmaster Elite Series last week, where every freaking top 10 person in the tournament is totally reliant upon live scope, and if it wasn't for the live scope, they wouldn't have won this tournament, we have reached a precipice that is not good, to say the least, out there. And it's the same thing, guys. They're getting ready to go to the St. Lawrence River next week. It's going to be a 100% drop shot deal, live scoping out there. Little swim bait, drop shot. Top 10 at the St. Lawrence River is going to be live scoping, the same deal. Every smallmouth tournament is. It's not just smallmouth tournament, it's every tournament anymore. Hell, the first tournament, Lake Okeechobee, the Elite Series was won live scoping down there on Lake Okeechobee in Florida. So you can't get past it. So the point is I will keep bringing this stuff up because we can never normalize this. You cannot normalize it and say forward-facing sonar is an accepted means of technology moving forward in the sport, because it's degrading every single aspect of our sport. I don't care if you're talking about the tradition of it, the mystery and the magic of it, the sustainability of our fisheries on it, the fact that it's turning fishing into an elitist sport, the fact that it's undermining the basic foundations of what bass fishing is. Until you acknowledge that, you can never normalize what forward-facing sonar and live scope is doing to the sport. And the problem that we have is we have had people in positions of power and money and influence that have set this normalization and process in our tournament competition. And it's not. Like I said, if you guys are, all the tournament directors out there, if you're all gung-ho about, just balls to the wall, no hold back on technology, whatever you want to do with technology, then let us use live bait. Let us get out and drag our boats over sandbars. Take the gloves off on different aspects of fishing. If you guys want to run fishing into the ground and ruin bass fishing, then you might as well just let, just anything goes in it, because that's sort of what's happening right now. But anyway, guys, it's just a shame, because here's what I'm talking about. Example, the very first time I went to Lake Champlain for the Bassmaster tournament up there in the 90s, it was a paradise. You could go out there and the only thing you needed was a jerkbait, a topwater lure, and a spinnerbait. That's all you needed. You could go out there and burn a spinnerbait across any flat on Lake Champlain and catch 16 to 20 pounds a day. If the wind wasn't blowing, you'd throw a walking topwater and catch 16 or 20 pounds a day. If it was windy a little bit, you throw a jerkbait and catch 16 or 20 pounds a day. You can't do that now. You go up there, I guarantee you those guys that do topwaters and burn spinnerbaits at Lake Champlain last week, they're probably finished in the 90s and hundreds in there. You can't compete with it, because those fish that every one of those top 10 anglers caught in this tournament, they normally in the past were protected by that open water. The fish need that water. They need to be able to escape to areas that anglers cannot locate. This is critical for the sustainability of broodstock, it's sustainability for the fishery overall. And when we get so good at catching these fish through technology that the fish have nowhere to hide, it is just a matter of time before the sustainability of that fishery goes down. Now, you guys can deny it. You can say Randy's an alarmist. You can say Randy's full of crap. Randy's just an old freaking geezer that's washed up and doesn't know what he's talking about. But you guys mark my words. You come back to me in 10 years and you look at the sustainability of our fishery, how it's been degraded if forward-facing sonar technology keeps advancing. There's no other way around it, guys. We have got to get our heads out of the sand. We have got to stop allowing these electronic companies to basically buy their way into degrading our sport through this technology. And make no mistake about it, the majority of the bass anglers in the United States are against exploding technology. They are against forward-facing sonar. You have a vocal minority people that have pull and that have power, that are forcing this upon the bass fishing public, and it does nothing to help the future of our fishery. None of these guys out there that use forward-facing sonar or condone it or anything like that, you can't give me one positive thing about what forward-facing sonar is doing to the sustainability of our fisheries over the long term. It's nothing. It's degrading it. And we have got to stop thinking about ourselves. We have got to stop thinking about how can we catch more and more fish every day on the water. We have got to start thinking about what we're going to leave to our grandchildren as far as what they're going to inherit in the fishing world when it comes along. And right now we're doing a terrible job of it, the way that we're doing it. And like I said, again, all you guys out there, if you finished in the top 10 at Champlain, congratulations. You guys are operating within the rules of the tournament organizations. I'm not saying anything bad about the anglers. What I am saying something bad about is the tournament organizations have the power to regulate this and to ban it or to limit it to some extent. And they don't. There's no reason in the world, if you guys want to have a balance, which a balance is even too much in my opinion, but if you want to balance, allow forward-facing sonar in practice, but it's not allowed in the tournament. Therefore, you have to have some level of primal instinctual ability in locating and finding fish. But right now, guys, fishing is turning into nothing more than video game sport. It's turning into a sport where somebody can go up at Lake Champlain that has never seen it. They don't know anything about the lake or where the fish are, and you can put them out on a flat and you can let them roam out there with a live scope, and they're gonna catch big bags of fish just weenie worming around out there. No skill whatsoever, there's no experience required. It's just staring at that freaking screen for 8 hours like every one of the guys that finished in the top 10 at Lake Champlain did. So anyway, we'll keep coming out with them as long as I have to read about this crap every tournament about, you know, forward-facing sonar. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have won the tournament. Every fish I caught, I saw on forward-facing sonar. And there's nothing that makes me more disgusted than seeing some guy glued to a screen. There he is, oh, he's getting close. Oh, he's almost got it, there he is. Oh, oh man, he turned away. It's like, that is the biggest bunch of crap. Is that really what we want? Is that what we want to be or become in the sport? Is that what we want bass fishing to be? You know, no, it's not where it needs to be. So from that standpoint, guys, just a little bit ranting here, disgusted. Drop me some comments, let me know what you guys see. I know from the comments that 90% of you guys agree with me. 10% of you guys, you know, you just, for whatever reason, just can't comprehend what we're talking about or the point we're coming from, and you say that we're freaking nut jobs and crazy and whiners and, you know, dinosaurs. I get it. I understand where that 10% is coming from, but like I said, just we'll wait 10 years and see, man. Check back with me in 10 years and we'll see what's going on with this. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see y'all.